Hi everybody, it's Gwen from Proof of Africa. Today we're going to talk with Megan and Manfo from the West Africa Decentralized Alliance, the well-known WADA. How are you guys?
Doing great.
We're doing awesome. How about you?
Great. I'm really glad to have you guys because we hosted Mercy 2 or 3 months, 3 or 4 months ago already. And now we're glad to have you again, WADA again, in order to discuss about what are the news and what are the new proposal on Catalyst. But perhaps before entering into detail, perhaps you can just re-explain us briefly what is WADA, who are the people in the team, and this kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. So WADA, we started. Mercy, is the big brain behind it all. Started, a couple of years ago, I want to say, at the beginning of Catalyst. And then, Josh came on board, we came on board, and I think the thing driving us all together is creating this network. We want to create a resource sharing network that allows Africans and people of African heritage to work together, to help each other, to share, their skills, their knowledge, their resources, whatever it is, to give back to that whole continent, whatever that means for, our members. So I don't know, that's the simplest way I can put it. We have so many different ways we like to talk about what we do. I think each time I'm asked, I'm a little bit more inspired in a different way.
That's actually, I think, difficult to sum up all the things you're doing in just 2 minutes. But I think that you said what's the overall idea is like to create this great big community. So I think at the beginning it was really West African, but I think that already from now on the scope is already like broader. But the idea is like to bring people together and to try to federate all this energy and passion around the blockchain.
Exactly. And the tricky thing is that we kind of came in early on, and technically Cameroon is in Central Africa. So, Manfo is from Cameroon. We're now living in Cameroon. So we were already expanding from the beginning.
That's actually like a very good thing that you just told us, that the fact that you guys are now in Cameroon, because I think that the last time I've seen you on YouTube, you were still in the US. So like you are currently in Cameroon, right?
Yes. So you had mentioned we could share the sort of our news and updates. Well, since the last time we did receive that funding from our fundraiser, which was really exciting, and that gave us the push to be able to move here to start launching our hub. So I'll let you talk a little bit. We're moving back home.
Yeah, sure. So I just want to, start a little bit with WADA and add a little bit more about what WADA really is. It being a network of hubs, trying to work together across Africa. It's really about like giving young people on the ground the opportunity to have a gateway into the world of distributed ledger technology and blockchain in particular. So that said, we got the funding through our fundraiser that we did a few months ago. And, that gave us a push to move to Cameroon and actually start implementing all of these great ideas on the ground. So we're here trying to settle down. It hasn't been easy with the internet and all the infrastructure. And I'm sure we're going to have time to get into that very soon.
And so can you tell us a bit, when you say like you are creating a hub in Cameroon, what does it mean exactly?
Yeah, so what is a hub? A hub is supposed to be an access point into the WADA network. And then the WADA network gives you access to education, to people and resources, and eventually to the Cardano network as well, the Cardano ecosystem. So physically, what our hub is a physical space. We personally cared a lot about a physical space in Cameroon. Some of the hubs may be, virtual, especially as sort of COVID is diminishing or whatnot. But we wanted a physical place that people could go to and see someone and talk in person about what is all of this, and maybe stay for a little while and do some programming or connect to our internet and watch a video together. So on one basic level, it's that, but also out of our hub, we run an IT company. So I'll let Manfo talk a little bit more about the IT.
So I want to add a little bit more about what a hub is at this local level. Really, it's a gateway. It's a place where we can invite the local community, sit down with them and talk about all these buzzwords, blockchain. And we all know, how blockchain and cryptocurrencies are viewed in Africa at this point, unfortunately. Quick money schemes kind of took over. So there's a deep work that needs to be done at that level. A hub is a place where people will get the right information about, blockchain, distributed ledger technology, cryptocurrencies, and many other applications of blockchain and how it could really change their life. So we create that space where we have conversations around big subjects, and then through those conversations we come up with a solution that really fit the the local paradigm. And through our hubs, just like Megan mentioned, we are planning on starting education curriculum in Haskell as a basics. And then once we feel comfortable with that, jumping onto Bluetooth. And we want to do this step by step. And you can do all of this before you have all the infrastructure, right? You need internet. You want to make sure that you have electricity there. And this will probably lead us into one of our main proposals in Project Catalyst right now, which is planting the woods in Africa, which in my opinion, definitely plants the seed in solving the infrastructure headaches that we have here in Cameroon. The other aspect of the hubs that I want to highlight here is the idea that each hub is intended to specialize in one area. Cameroon focusing on IT
and
agriculture, and we'll have something in agriculture coming up soon, but I can't talk too much. And that's the whole idea of the network. And we have other hubs, Ghana focusing on government, institution, and academia. And the idea is that as we grow and as we mature in this specific area, we collaborate, our network being a resource sharing network. We want to share whatever standards we learn from hub, to hubs,
from hub to hub,
if I can put it this way. So I just wanted to highlight that specialization aspect of our hubs as well.
So if I will understand, is you had this project of going into Cameroon, to create this hub, and with this idea of WADA, those hubs are outposts, because now in Cardano especially, but I think in a lot of protocols, there is a lot of theory. Oh, we should do this, we should do that. We want to build great thing for Africa. it's good to have the willingness to do it, but then you need to do it. And actually, so what you are doing now is like creating this outpost, trying things, because I guess that some things going to work well, some other perhaps not as good as expected. But the idea is really to create this, and with this proposal on Catalyst, to create several hubs in several countries, to enlarge as much as possible the experience, like the experiment, sorry, to see how it works, and at the same time to connect everything together to kind of make like really a network all over West Africa first, even if it's Cameroon is in the middle, but really like to try to have those hubs connected, and as you say, which is might not be so obvious for people in Western countries, but because for us internet works pretty well, you can work from everywhere, but like in Africa, in most of places, those hubs will allow like to have a physical space where people can actually access just internet and a secured power.
Well, let me tell a little story about the internet thing, and that maybe I took for granted. So we've been here for about 2 months, and what was it? The second week we were here, we started trying to get internet. So the first week we were too busy. So we'll say we've been here for, 2 weeks minus 1, 2 months minus 1 week. So we've been trying to get internet for that long. And it was just today that we finally got a technician to come to the house. He came at, about 8 p.m. and it was too late. He really just came as a token. I'm here, sorry, I'll come back tomorrow. But as we were waiting for him, Manfo and I were sort of walking down in front of the building, and Manfo was explaining to me what they were gonna do. And he walks me down the street, and we're looking at sort of like all these wires tangled up on the electricity lines. And we're looking around until we see a box that says Chemtel. And he says, okay, so here's the Chemtel box. So he's gonna climb up this pole, hook his line into there, and then he'll have to go to that pole. Okay, I hope that one doesn't break, because if that pole breaks when he does it, the whole thing's gonna be on us. Okay, now he'll go down this one and then up to our apartment. And I was just thinking, when you talk about someone coming to install the internet, I'm thinking he's coming to bring a box up and plug it into the wall, maybe fix some wires into the wall.
And I just want to add a little bit more to that. It's been really 2 months, trying to get internet. The funny thing is, in Cameroon, and I guess as in many other countries in Africa, and unfortunately, sometimes you have to bribe, right? You have to, for things to move along. In this specific case, we've been trying like really hard, and we are at this point because we have like some connections that we have worked with in the past at Camtel being the company that handles internet and telephone lines. And it's been really, really painful, just sitting there and really having to rely on like internet from the street, I will call it, like from the phone carrier. You have to get a little bit of money, charge your phone with some credit, and then transform it into internet, and that's like 1 giga. And guess what? A call like this one is going to take up maybe 2 gigs, depending on the video quality, and that has been like a big bottleneck. So just like you said, in the Western world, we tend to take things for granted. But this proposal, which is really focusing on, planting root in Africa, which is really focusing on this specific issue of infrastructure, is so important and so necessary, to really plant the seed in a beautiful way, making sure that we have the basics to start working in a, welcoming environment, if I can put it this way.
No, it's really important because, of course, probably because we had a look on this proposal, and it might seem to be like it is a lot of money, but at the same time, it's like an investment you have to do in order to be able to do things. Otherwise, it's simply just not going to happen. And perhaps one thing that I think would be interesting to explain a bit more is the fact that you, as I don't know if it's founding member or like co-member of WADA, being on the ground, it's also an insurance of like, you know where the money is going to, like how it's going to be used, and you're going to be able to make the follow-up. So it might also reinsure people that money is not just sent like this. There is actually a follow-up, which is planned.
Yeah, and that was really important to us, you know, in terms of starting this whole movement, you know, being in the US before where we were, our experience with, you know, sending money to people here to get jobs done for us, you know, worked with varying degrees of success. But being here on the ground and having physical oversight is, you know, so important. So, you know, our contacts throughout the countries that we're working with, you know, we make sure that those are solid contacts. And one really important aspect of this Grow Cardano, Grow Africa proposal is about having kind of regional leaders. So, you know, leaders who can, you know, we're in Cameroon, so we have some visibility on DRC to our right, left, anyways, east, and Nigeria on the other side. So the goal is that we can, you know, have some oversight there, and Mercy, you know, is actually, I don't know if I should, maybe I shouldn't say, Mercy has some oversight in Ghana, I'll just say, and that is important for us to have. You know, we don't want to just be asking for this money to send it out and hope that people do the best. Like, we are treating this very seriously and carefully, and, you know, with respect. It's not, you know, money to be played with by any means. We came here on a very small budget and, you know, are making it work as best we can. But it's hard, you know, having a little bit more support. I feel like we would just thrive. And I think that that's true for a lot of the other hubs that we're talking about.
And yeah, and just to add a little bit to, you know, the monitoring component of all of this, you know, funding. We have a proposal in Project Catalyst that we, you know, intend to use specifically for that. And the idea here is like to give a visual component to all these projects that are funded, including our projects. So starting from, you know, where they are being like sketched out, if I can put it that way, you know, walking the community through the steps of putting a project together. You know, as we go on the field and we work with young people, we help them like draw their proposal and bring them into Project Catalyst. So that's a visual component that
it's called Media Funnel for Proposers.
Exactly. Thank you.
And it's about documenting, and it's something that we're we're already taking as many videos and pictures as we can, and you'll hopefully see something from us soon. But we're not, you know, technically filmmaking experts, so we want to kind of stimulate that as well in our area, like giving more visibility to just life here. Yeah.
But I think it's actually a really important aspect of what we as like people trying to develop things are doing, because people also, like people who invest with us or help support us, they also need to see what's actually happening, because it's true that sometimes for us as doing things, it's obvious that what we're doing is bringing things on the ground and stimulating economy and so on, but like for people who are not there, it's good to also see it. And sometimes, as you say, picture or like a little interview, a little something, it helps people to understand how it is. So I think it's really important to push for this.
We want to make it a journey.
It's no, and I think it's also one of the things we all missed from the beginning, is like really focused on what we're doing, and perhaps at some time not sharing enough with the people who are supporting us. And I think that now, once again, regarding this proposal and the fact that you guys are on the ground, I think it's a huge plus, because like somehow people know that there is people behind that are accounted for what's been given. And of course it's a project, so like we cannot say for 100% that every cent's going to be like perfectly used, but at least that you can control. And the thing which is important is like you can readjust, because sometimes you work with somebody, it doesn't work, okay, you work with somebody else. But if you're not on the ground, it's going to take like you longer to actually see that. So I think that,
well, and that's also why we wanted to kind of starting our hub before trying to start so many hubs at once. And we've also, started the hub in Ghana. So it's not that we're kind of starting from nothing and then throwing out all these hubs there. We've got some boots on the ground in a couple places, and even in Nigeria, we've had a lot of close contact with, your side and Joshua to get a good feel for how those logistics work. And we have a general skeleton of what a hub means, but we do, tweak it significantly for each country, because there's not necessarily a one situation fits all. And that is something that we, we're cognizant of, in this proposal and budgeting.
So I think that actually like the thing is clear, and for me that the most important point is like this proposal might seem big because the number is kind of big, but at the end of the day it's for like several hubs, and this is actually, as you said, like it's a gateway. It's how like we can implement things on the ground. If you just send 1,000 here, 1,000 there without really monitoring what's happening, nothing's gonna happen. So it's really like, as you said, like we need physical place where people can have access to power, to internet, but more important than that, to also the resources that WADA going to create and gather. And I think it's also something really important.
Yeah, exactly. I think that you brought up a good point at the end, access to reliable education. Yeah, definitely. And we've, part of our hub strategy is having a physical office, but also coordinating with local schools. I have been a teacher in the past. When we lived in Cameroon before, I was teaching in high school physics. And so I've made some relationships with schools in the area and with our kids going to school and things like that. So we have already been in communications with a lot of the schools around here, and picked sort of a strategic location in terms of, there are a lot of schools around, it's a safe area, and we can have some more intimate things that are happening in the physical hub that we've created that's more of an office, but then also partnering with schools for big events or for after school events, or even hoping to start club type events either during the day or after school, especially with high school students, that kind of getting them excited about this technology and also seeing which direction they go with it. I was thinking about if we start a blockchain club, I don't want to put any pressure to make it about the technical side or about the economics of it or what. I kind of want to present it as a very high level and see how each group of students, we give them a project, say, but see how they want to attack it. Do they want to create a program around it? Do they want to make a new economy around it? I don't know. So that's what I'm personally excited about.
And once again, this kind of relation, this kind of projects, you can only do it if you're on the ground.
Yeah.
It's Absolutely. Like, it's not impossible, but almost like to manage this.
Well, no, we were, I was trying to talk to some of my old school connections from California, and did a couple WhatsApp messages, and my own principal, she was kind of blunt. She's like, you know, honestly, this is the kind of thing I need to talk about in person. Let's just talk when you get here. So we needed to get here.
No, it's true, and like somehow it's how it works, and that's why for me, seeing like this project and knowing that there is boots on the ground, it's really like what is the key point for success. So I think that if we can sum up, it's a big proposal, but it's really a huge step forward for the development of blockchain and Cardano on the ground. Because we've seen that IOG is doing things, but we cannot only rely on IOG. It's also need like people who understand Africa, understand what's happening, who are there, that actually can bring the thing. So it's something huge, but there is people on the ground. So I think that we can be really confident in the success of this. So people, be sure to vote for this proposal. I think that WADA also have several other proposals for this Fund 5, but this is really like the big piece and really like a major foundation for what you want to build in the future.
Exactly. And WADA focuses on, other aspects, like we sort of mentioned, our media approach, but at the base, it's the infrastructure.
That will definitely bring in education, and then once we have that rolling, dApps will follow. Now we're taking a step-by-step approach, and we want to go like very slowly and in a super steady way, if I can put it like that.
Slowly and steadily.
Yeah.
No, it's a thing. Once again, it's one of the things we experience with Proof of Africa, and that's why we're working with ABCD in Nigeria. Is the fact that you need people to know about blockchain first. Then we need like the people you're going to train with Haskell, Plutus to develop those smart contracts to be able to create those dApps, because there is already a lot of. We could have ideas of dApps and stuff, but we also need the people to be able to actually implement those solutions. And there is only one way: education. It's as simple. Sorry for that, because I'm not sure it's not so simple, but the concept is simple. So I think that we covered basically the overall idea. I don't know if there is anything else you would like to share with us. Feel free.
Well, other than a huge thank you, Wendell, for having us, on this show. I think this is, really useful to put the word out there and get the community to know what we're up to and what we are really working on. Keeping that relationship ongoing is really important to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's actually really precious for us as well. And people don't see that, but we are often in contact. We talk about a lot of subjects, and I think for us, knowing that there is people, we are all going in the same direction, and it's really important. And I'm going to put in the description of the video, of course, all the link to WADA website, to the proposal on Catalyst, on IDA Scale, because like we try to make something not too long, but there is so many things to say about WADA. So like I really invite people to just have a look on the Twitter as well. So I'm gonna publish all this. So thank you very much for making it with us tonight, even if it was not super easy with the internet. As you said, the guy was like coming a bit late, but like soon all those little issues gonna be sorted out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.